Today, we are going to be talking about perimeter. Everybody say that. Perimeter. The perimeter is the length of the boundary around a closed shape. And the way I like to remember it is I actually trace a rectangle in the air with my finger. So everybody put your finger in the air. And you're going to trace a rectangle with your finger, all four sides, as you say perimeter. Do it two more times. Perimeter. One more. Perimeter. Excellent. That way you won't forget that the perimeter is around, the distance around. So if we wanted to find the perimeter of this rectangle that's 6 centimeters long and 4 centimeters wide, who has a way we could solve this? Who has a way we could find the distance around? Lauren. Excellent. So Lauren just added up all of her sides, and then she grouped them in a way that made it easy to add. She saw that she had two groups of 10, so that we could easily do in her head to get 20. And is this 20 ice cream cones? Centimeters. I know, I wish too, but it is 20 centimeters. Okay, that is one great strategy, to add up all the sides. Who has a different strategy? Who has a different strategy? Alba? Well, we want to get the distance around, so we wouldn't use subtraction because we want to count all of these sides. You could, multiplication. Okay, so if we were multiplying, let's go ahead and label the top. If this side is 6, this side is also 6. If this side is 4, this side is also 4. Okay, so Alba says we want to use multiplication. Well, let's think. I have 6 how many times? 2. Okay, so I have 6 2 times. I'm going to put that in parentheses because we want to do that first. And then I also have 4 how many times, Alba? 2 times. Okay, so we could get 12 and 8. And what are you going to do with these two? Yeah, we want to add these up. These combine to be 12. 6 and 6 is 12. These combine to be 8. And then 12 plus 8 would give us 20. Oh, I heard the units. Awesome. 20 centimeters. I'm going to show you one more way. Could I also do 6 plus 4? Put that in parentheses because I did that first. And then times 2? Yeah. So I found this plus this, and then just multiplied it twice. And that would give me 10 times 2 equals 20. Thank you, good units, 20 centimeters. So 3 different ways to get the same answer. Make sure you're copying down careful notes too. So now we're going to take the work you just did, the 3 different ways you found, and put them into something called a formula. Everybody say formula. And formula just means you do the same equation, but you use letters instead of numbers. So that any rectangle we were looking at, no matter what the length and the width were, we could use a formula to figure it out. So we're going to call the length, instead of length, we're going to say L with a cursive L. Mathematicians use a cursive L for length. On the second slide, Shallow, right below. So we're looking now at the next slide that says formulas for finding, and then W for width. And actually, it's a lowercase w. So if we did it Lauren's way, Lauren's formula is that perimeter, we'll use a capital P for perimeter. So write down on yours, capital P equals L plus W plus L plus W, right? Just adding all those sides. Get that first formula down. If we did it with Alba's formula, we would say perimeter equals 2 times L in parentheses plus 2 times W, right? She took them and multiplied by 2 first, and then she added those together. And Mrs. George's formula, my formula, was I said perimeter equals L plus W times 2. Right, I did L plus W first, and then I multiplied that by 2. Make sure you have all 3 of these formulas down in your notes. Do you have to use just one of them all the time? No, you can decide based on the situation what's going to be easier for you. Like maybe on this one, the Lauren formula might have been the easiest one for you because she was like right away, 6 plus 4 is 10. So that helped her really quickly know that she was just going to have 10 and 10. Although actually, I guess the Alba formula was good for that too. So if you're going to depend, it's going to depend what the scenario is, which one you want to do. But all of these solve the same thing to find the perimeter. We're going to do one more problem in your math journal together. So take out your journal, open to page 33. Keep your notes out, keep your notes handy. You're going to need them today, Sophia, so keep those notes out. But also take out your math journal on page 33 and follow along as I read. Oh yeah, 33, we found a math alliteration, nice. Follow along as I read. Munja's parents are building a deck. A diagram is to the right. They want the perimeter to be 44 feet. One side must be 12 feet long. What is the measurement of the width? So, ladies, circle number 5 if you haven't already. Circle it so you know you're with me. I'm going to read it one more time. Make sure you're following along as I read. Munja's parents are building a deck. A diagram is to the right. They want the perimeter to be 44 feet. One side must be 12 feet long. What is the measurement of the width? So what's the question asking here that ends in a question mark, Luciana? Underline it. What is the measurement of the width? The reason we're doing this one together is so far, I was just having you find the perimeter, right? You were given the length and the width and you had to find the perimeter. Now this time, we're given the perimeter and one side, and we have to find the width. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit different than the previous problems we did. But we could still use our formulas and just plug in what we know, right? So we have a formula for perimeter. I'm going to use the formula for this one to say P equals 2 times length plus width. So go ahead and write that on your page. P equals 2 times length plus width. You with me so far? The thing I love about formulas is once you have the formula written out, it's really easy to see what needs to go where. So I actually have a song for when you're using formulas. Of course, I have a song for it, right? I have a song for everything. So when you write a formula, all you have to think is plug it in, sing it with me. Plug it in, and you're just going to plug in the numbers that we know. So for perimeter, Do we know what the perimeter is? You could shout it out. 44. So write 44 equals 2 times, and then do we know the length? You could shout it out. 12. 12 plus, do we know the width? No, so we're going to leave that one a W. Okay, so now I have to think pretty carefully about this. I want 44 to equal 2 times 12 plus W. Well, let's break this apart. If I said 44 equals 2 times question mark, raise your hand if you know what we would want that question mark to be. 44 equals 2 times something. What would that something be, Ava? It's not going to be on your mult chart. You kind of just have to think in your head, what's half of 44? Help her out, Sia. What is it, Ava? 22. Do you agree? 2 times 22? Yeah. So we know that 44 equals 2 times 22. Okay, so now, guess what? We want this 12 plus W to equal 22, because 44 would be 2 times 22. So our final step is we have to figure out what W would be. Can anyone do that now that we've broken down the problem? Quinn? Yes! How'd you know, Quinn, that W had to be 10? She needed a 10 here, right? Good. So our width is 10 feet. And then I always like to just do a quick check after to make sure I'm right. So now that this is 10, I'm going to practice my perimeter. I'll do the Lauren formula. Add all the sides around, 10 plus 10 plus 12 plus 12. And I get 20 plus 24 is 44 feet. Is that what I wanted? Yes, so you have discovered the width. So make sure as you're reading the word problems today, you really pay attention to what the question's asking you and have fun using perimeter.